Okay, I call this meeting to order at 4:09 p.m. Will all members that are present please state their name?
Julia Cipher.
Max Bannock.
And Blake Cox, the chair, is here. Will any others in the room please state your name for the record? Perfect. Our first interview is about to start, but before we did that, just kind of wanted to go over how I'm thinking of doing everything. Just because we want to stay on track, I was thinking starting with the technical questions and then giving them the rest of the allotted time for the rest of their questions to ensure that we do 5 minutes and we don't have to they finish that and then they still have technical questions for another few minutes because that can get us behind. And then during deliberations, I was thinking of dedicating about 3 minutes per each individual committee seat. So 3 minutes for a budget seat, 3 minutes for 3 minutes for each budget seat, which would be 9 minutes, and then 3 minutes for each judiciary seat would be 6 minutes, so 15 minutes for deliberations, and then we move into we can either recess before or after deliberations and then do the agenda. Does that sound good with everyone?
Maybe recess before.
Recess before deliberations?
Yeah, that way I have time to look over the notes.
Yeah, of course.
For the budget time, is it 9 or 12? I just want to make sure.
It would be 3 open seats, I believe.
So you want 4
Is it
minutes
3 or
deliberation?
there's 4 open seats. Sorry. So it'd be 4 open budget seats, so we do 3 minutes of deliberation per seat, which would be 12 minutes, and then the 2 open judiciary seats, 3 per seat, would be 6 minutes, so it'd be 18 minutes of deliberation.
Wait,
sounds good.
also, on hearing technical questions first, it's fine. I just feel bad for the people who applied to both budget and judish, and their technical questions are going to be like 4 minutes long, assuming they're having time to think.
Okay.
Clearly, you're not going to be able to.
Yeah, we can just do. Here's what we'll try to do. How does everyone sound? Like 4 minutes for everything else, and then we'll just after 4 minutes we'll do technical questions, and it should be 1 minute of technical questions per person. Does that sound good?
So you're saying ending with technical?
So we're saying 4 minutes of the 3 general questions that they kind of can elaborate on, and then after 4 minutes we'll go into technical questions. So we're keeping inline-ish with 5 minutes, but still giving them a lot of time to elaborate.
What if they don't have a chance to answer all the technical questions?
We'll just go over the 5 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
Cool. Is everyone ready to start?
Yep.
Perfect.
I'll go grab Warren.
He should say at the beginning
Yeah.
that we're just here taking notes and not previous. We have observers. Everything they say will be recorded, and then also.
You'll have 4 minutes. Hey.
Hey,
how are y'all doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing real good. Good to see you.
Hi.
Do you shake hands?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Hey, how are you doing? Nice to meet you, Warren. Hey, how are you doing? Oh man, let's see. That's middle chair.
Yeah, there we go.
Is there more light in this room?
We'll figure it out soon. All right, so just to let you know, could you state your name and the seat you applied for?
John Warren Cornell, and I'm applying for the budget committee. I applied for the judicial too, but I want to take that away if that's all right.
Oh, you'd like to rescind your?
Yeah, if that's totally all right with
That's
y'all.
totally
I can still do it if that's easier.
No,
but
if you want to just apply to budget, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So we're going to give you 4 minutes initially, and then we'll move into technical questions.
Awesome.
So that will start now. Why did you apply for this position?
Awesome. So being elected, I told my constituents that I was going to be elected to serve. My personal motto is living to serve. And when I came into Senate, I realized that to effectively use my position, I can't just sit in my hands and attend Senate meetings. I'm not going to be able to genuinely serve my constituents. I apologize. Yeah, but I won't be able to serve them if I'm not actively going out and trying to make an impact on campus. And I believe that committees is the first step to do that. And so the budget committee, I'm an FRE student, and so I looked at that and I said, this is a committee that's going along right with my major, what I'm learning, what I know, what I want to do in the future. And so what a great time to invest in the leadership, invest in my student government itself, invest in the university, and all at the same time right into my education.
Perfect. So what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Awesome. So I've been financially independent throughout my high school career. I raised livestock for the Hardy County Fair, and while that sounds kind of silly and unrelated, what it did is it caused me to have to invest in the project's budget, how much I can spend to feed this animal, how much do I need to sell this animal at the end of the year in order to do it again, and how to manage my profits and that. And so for quite some time, I've been managing different aspects of the money, and then I've also mentioned that I'm an FRE major, so diving into that, learning exactly how bonds and stuff like that works, balancing accounts. I think it's going to be a perfect fit as far as what the budget committee does and what I can offer.
So what are some ideas that you have?
Awesome. So I really don't have very many. What I do have sounds kind of elementary, but I want to announce the amount of money we're rewarding to different organizations. I want to make it almost a big deal, celebrate it, Instagram post, hey, this organization got this much to do this. And if we do that, other organizations realize, hey, this is an opportunity for us to do this. How do we apply? I feel like student government has great resources on this is how you do it, this is how you qualify. And I feel like a lot of people will say we need to better those resources. I instead say, let's make it where it's obvious to people that these resources truly do exist. They're not fairy dust that we say exist, but it's true, and we're rewarding money, and this is what it's doing. This is the good that student government's doing on campus.
Perfect. So now moving into the technical questions. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
So operational requests go to student body meetings, so for the whole campus, whereas an event request is a special organization or a special event meant for a few.
What are the big 5 entities?
Yes, sir. So you have student activities and involvement, rec sports, rights union, fraternity and sorority life. I apologize. I know it. I just forgot which ones I've said. Rec sports, rights union, student government. What we are. That's the one I forgot. I apologize.
There we go. So what are some requests that the budget committee covers?
So we cover operational. We also cover transactional or events, line by line, operation, line by line, event. My goodness, I can't believe that's slipping me. I'm sorry.
No
We
worries.
can come back to
Yeah,
it.
if that's all right.
So when does the student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
So it begins July 1st and it ends June 30th.
Do you want to go back to what request the budget committee
Yes, sir.
covers?
So we have operational. Travel request. Thank you. Do you want me to say them all again if I'm re-answering?
I mean,
Okay.
if you feel the need to, you're more than welcome to.
Okay. I feel all right if I got it. That's,
Do you have any questions for us?
no, sir, not really. Thank y'all for the time today.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Have the rest of your day.
Oh, was I done? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you are. We can have like the person leaving see if the other
I was going to say,
person-
do you mind if you could grab Maximo?
Yes, sir.
Perfect, thank you.
Is Maximo his like genuine like legal name or is that?
Yeah,
a
that's
nickname?
his like. That's the one on the application.
Okay,
Thank you.
gotcha.
Thanks for calling in.
I thought it was a nickname. That's awesome. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
That's it.
Very kind.
I honestly don't know if I'm allowed to speak during our interviews.
I mean, I don't believe there's any statutory limits on you speaking. I think it's kind of just. Yes.
How are you guys? Come in. Good to see you.
Well,
Pleasure seeing you guys. Blake, good to see you.
nice to see you.
Nice to meet another Max.
Pleasure to meet you. And
Ronan, just a civilian.
Alrighty. So you're gonna have 4 minutes to answer the first few questions, and then we'll go into technical questions. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
My name is Maximo Toledo, and I'm applying for Budget Committee.
Perfect. Your time will start whenever you start speaking. What is your motivation for applying?
Yeah, so from a broader perspective, my motivation for applying stems from my wanting to get involved and to make a difference with said involvement. That's from a broad spectrum. But from a more, pinpointed approach, I feel like I can lean on my strengths and my past experiences most in this Budget Committee position to actually make that difference that I want to by being involved.
All right. So what's some experience that you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, absolutely. So in high school, I did a very similar thing in a position called academic prefect. So essentially, my role there was to, approve budgets for academic organizations, their events, and for the student body in general. So that was one experience that I believe has prepared me best for this role. Another experience was founding and managing my own coffee shop in high school. I feel like that, between the accounting, the line item expenses, I think that was really an experience that helped me best prepare for this.
What are some ideas that you have?
I think the biggest issue facing this budget committee and our student body is funding. And with our percentage increases each year, I feel like there's more to do than we have money for. So I think the biggest idea that I have is the idea of maybe, I don't know how the funding works from the school that we get for budget committee, if that's lump sum or periodical or it goes directly to the organizations. But I feel like if we can have that money and just the idea of maybe putting some of it into a CD, getting 5% off of that, that will help us grow our budget in the year to fund those other expenses that we want to. So alternative investment solutions to grow the budget.
So now on to some technical questions. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
So operational requests, that's for general body meetings, and then the event requests are for any other special events that these organizations want to put on.
What are the big 5 entities?
Big 5, that's SAI, student government, student rec, like rec sports. It's going to include sorority and fraternity life, and the rights union.
So what requests does the budget committee cover?
Sorry? What requests? It's going to be operational, travel, event, and line item.
When does the student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
Begins on July 1st and ends on June 30th.
Do you have any questions for us?
No.
Perfect. Have
Awesome.
a great day.
Thank you, guys.
for coming in.
Thank you.
Do you mind grabbing Watson if he's out there?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good afternoon. Welcome in. Would you mind stating your name and the position you're applying for the record?
My name is Watson Hewitt, and I'm applying for the Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Perfect. So we'll ask you some questions and then we'll go into technical. What is your motivation for applying?
So I would say Budget is a really unique and really cool committee that allows you to distribute all the funds that make our student government so cool. Like, we're the only, it's not SGA, it's a non-association, it's fully self-run. That's because we have control of the budget. I think I would really like to be a part of that. You get to see a lot of different student organizations, and it's really like that diversity of getting to see like all the different organizations on campus that I really like.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So I would say the best experience I have is I'm part of something called the Gator Student Investment Fund. And what we do is we manage $1.2 million in the endowment, and we use that invest in the stock market, and then once a year they also use the money that we manage for like the gains that we have. It's used for something called the Mackin Opportunity Scholarship, and it's for like low income students. And like what really the similarities that I find between Budget and GSIF is you're really like making sure and like researching these companies that would be really like good allocations of money, like Budget of like what would be a good allocation of money for an organization, just like we do in GSIF. Like I'm on Excel a lot, and I know very familiar with that. Like I know that's an important skill in Budget. So.
What ideas do you have?
So I would say the biggest thing is just making sure everyone understands like what Budget actually does. So I think it'd be beneficial for like a workshop for senators, like to help them understand like what the 800 codes are and just like kind of teach them. And I think it'd also be beneficial to put on a workshop for just like student leaders and like organizations.
So now onto the technical questions. What is the difference between an operational event and an event, or an operational request and an event request?
So operational is kind of like the more like regular funding for like just like the GBMs and things like that, and then event is like more like special requests, like events that an organization wants to do.
What are the big five entities?
So the big five are student activity and involvement, student government, rights union, student rec sports, and the Office of Sorority and Fraternity Life.
What requests do the budget committee cover?
So they cover, like you previously said, operational event, and they also do travel and line item transfers.
When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
July 1st to June 30th.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for us?
No, that's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you don't mind going out to grab Douglas, if he's out there,
Okay.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're so on time. This is unreal.
We started a little behind. We just cut back.
I'm not gonna do it.
Great.
Did you guys ever like shake the hands of the people you...
Sometimes
I did it
I
some
judge
of the
people
way,
based
yeah.
on their like handshake.
Hey.
Wait, shake my hand like how you would.
Oh.
normally. I just don't this handshake.
Hey, welcome in.
Hello. How you doing?
Doing great.
So do you mind stating your name and the positions you applied for?
Yeah, Douglas Harrison, applying for the Judiciary and Budget Committee.
Yes. And then just to let you know, we'll have 4 minutes to kind of do 4 minutes of interview and then the technical questions. So the 4 minutes start whenever you begin speaking. What is your motivation for applying?
Just wanted to be more involved on campus, more familiar with the workings of the Senate, making sure that the activities fee is properly allocated, and that organizations, at least within the College of Agriculture, being that that's my constituency, are properly taken care of when it comes to funding.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
I was a replacement senator in summer 22 when the budget was passed, so I was pretty familiar with it then. I'm on my fraternity exec, so I'm familiar with finances and operations when it comes to running an organization. Also, several involvements, including an exec involvement within the College of Agriculture and clubs such as Collegiate Farm Bureau and Cal's Council, things of that nature. Plus, I'm an FRE major, so I have some familiarity with accounting.
Perfect. What are some ideas that you have?
I already really started working on this, but it's really just stemmed from conversation, talking with different organizations within the College of Agriculture to kind of figure out what their different travel expenses and special event requests would look like, and really working with them to see how would they properly request those funds through DocuTrack, and personalizing, funding request plans for different organizations. So they're not really in the dark as to how to use DocuTrack.
So now to the technical questions. We'll start with budget. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Operational requests would necessarily refer to general body meetings, whereas event requests would refer to special events. So let's say the AOM club wanted to have a special event with a guest speaker that needed financing for catering or something like that.
What are the big five entities?
The SFL office, student activities and involvement, student government, the rights, and rec sports.
What requests do the budget committee cover?
Operations, special event, travel, and line item.
When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
Starts July 1st, ends June 30th, or starts June 30th, ends July 1st. Starts July 1st, ends June 30th, the next year.
So now on to the judiciary technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
I believe in any specific order?
In whatever order you feel.
Implication, clarity, format, legality, and constitution. How constitutional it is.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
Resolutions have no teeth, bills do. Bills refer to an action. Resolutions refer to a sentiment.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in judiciary?
5 minutes of presentation, 5 minutes of Q&A, 5 minutes of debate, 2 minutes of final privilege.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
They could pass or fail it, or postpone it, or table it.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, not really.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Do you mind grabbing Arshawn? I believe I'm saying. Oh wait, no, that's a phone interview. Never mind.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Perfect. Right. I will now call Arshawn. 3503. Wait, oh. We're right on time.
For Arshawn?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, is this Arshawn?
Yes. Is this
Hi.
the interview?
Yes, this is Blake from the Replacement Agenda Committee.
Okay, great.
You're on speaker with the committee. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for the record?
Yes. Okay. Hi, I am Arshawn Mastery Fossey. I'm applying for the Budget and Appropriations Committee and the Judiciary Committee.
Perfect. You'll have 4 minutes for the general questions, and then we'll go into 1 minute of technical questions. Does that sound good to you?
Okay, great. Yeah, perfect.
Alrighty, perfect. First off, what is your motivation for applying?
So, basically, I've always wanted to community uplift and support has always been a core motivation of mine. Growing up, my family always instilled community and family as the main motivation behind a lot of things I do, and so that was my motivation for applying to student government and getting Senate. And I wanted to represent people and uplift my constituencies and really advocate for the people who couldn't advocate for themselves. And that same motivation extends to these committees, both with the Budget and Appropriations and Judicial. I want to make sure that in Budget and Appropriations, for example, every club and organization gets the funding they need. And in Judicial, every bill and idea brought to the Senate gets all the support it can get. So in all areas, I want to make sure that I can support the UF community in every way I can, because it's really supported me and all my time here.
What experience do you have that make you a good fit for this position?
So I'll go both. So for Budget and Appropriations, I'm a math major, and I have a lot of experience with financial and budgeting in general. My dad owns a business in Tampa, and I've always kind of taken on the role of the financial aspect because he's an immigrant, so he is less literate with those things. So I have a lot of experience with budgeting and making sure the many different areas of his business gets the attention it needs. And so I feel like that gives me direct experience with what will be required of me as a committee member. And also in a more academic sense, I have led many organizations and clubs. I know what the experience is like to not get the full extent of budgeting and funding one may want. So I feel like that I like having that perspective and having that more human, personal view on what budgeting and allocation of funds will mean as a club organizer, basically. Oh, and then for Judicial, sorry, I've had a lot of experience with with advocating and with pushing for people and really supporting the people around me. I've done a lot of, in a more direct sense, I've done a lot of speech and debate or Model United Nations what's it called involvements. And then furthermore, I have a lot of experience with US policy classes and things of that nature. And so when it comes to debating policy and considering constitutionality, I've had a lot of interest and experience with these kinds of things.
Perfect. And what are some ideas you have? You've got about 1 minute and 15 seconds, by the way.
Okay, so I'll be kind of quick. So for the Judicial Committee, I feel like the overall debate and the ongoing consideration of bills within the Senate chamber is not the most efficient as it could be. I feel like there could be a lot more transparency with the process of the debate of bills, and I feel like that would make the process within the chamber a lot smoother. And so in the Judiciary Committee, I'd love to be able to facilitate that and bring more information to the chamber in general for what is going on with the bills and to make in-chamber debate better. And then the Budget and Appropriations Committee, going with that same vein of like the kind of human aspect of what it means to run a club without the proper funding, I want to make sure I can extend a hand to every organization on campus and show that even though budgeting may be an issue and there may not be enough money for everyone, we are like there to support every single organization and provide, like I said, a more human aspect to the whole allocation of funds process.
Perfect. Now on to the technical questions. We'll start with budget. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
An operational request, if I'm not mistaken, is for the general body meetings. An event request is for other specific and special events an organization might request funding for.
What are the big five entities?
The big five are the Rights Union, Sorority Fraternity Life, Rec Sports, SAI, and Student Government.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
They cover operational, travel, line item, and event.
When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
It runs from July 1st to June 30th.
All right, now on to the judiciary technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
The 5 criteria are legality, implication, format, constitutionality, and clarity.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A resolution is a sentiment the student government or a senator might want to pursue, and a bill mandates action.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in judiciary?
It's 5 minutes of presentation, 5 minutes of question and answer, 5 minutes of debate, and 2 minutes of final privilege.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
They can table, postpone, pass, and fail.
All right, do you have any extra questions for us?
Is there any, what's the next step of this process? What should I expect to hear from you guys moving forward?
You should expect to hear back tomorrow shortly before the agenda is sent out. So somewhere tomorrow early afternoon.
Okay, perfect. No, I don't think I have any other questions. Thank you so much.
Perfect, of course. You have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Right. So now we are on to Roderick. Let me see if he's outside.
So, Arshan's car broke down, and that's why he couldn't make it.
Sounded
Felt like I should say that.
Sounded like he was at an event.
Yes, it did.
Roderick is not out there.
We can wait. Wait.
Anyone else out there?
The next interview
Abigail?
is, she emailed me and rescinded her application. So the next one would be 4:45 for Kate McNamara. That's another phone interview. Does anyone have Roderick's number? Could text him? Do either of you?
I don't.
Max, do you have?
Do you have?
Roger Tatum?
Yes.
I could see if I have access to it, but I don't think it's in my contact list.
Let me check.
Okay.
And see.
You want to check it?
Yeah, I'll check. Just kidding.
I went down there and
No.
Roderick. Found his email.
yeah. Here I can email. I can email.
Okay.
I feel like I should do it.
Roderick's not here.
Wait, is this time 4:35 or is it
4:35.
4:35? Please respond to this now if you can make it to the meeting today. Well, want to try calling, but I guess we'll just move a little bit ahead. Yes. 312. Oh, not 321, 312.
Hello.
Hello, is this Kate?
Hi, yeah, this is her.
We're just calling for your RNA interview. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am. I'm so sorry about the confusion. I submitted an excuse form for this week because I got concussed and I'm not feeling so great. So I'm sorry that I did not reach you guys sooner.
No worries. You will have 4 minutes. Or could you mind stating your name and the seat you're applying for?
My name's Catherine McNamara and I'm applying for the Budget and Appropriations Committee seat.
Perfect. So you'll have 4 minutes whenever you begin speaking. Our first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Okay. I'm super motivated to get more involved in student government. And so I think that directly impacting my constituents through the Budget and Appropriations Committee would be awesome. I'm also a finance major, so I'm already really passionate about money and finances and budgeting. And so I think that making the university better in the future through how we apportion our funds is super important. And I think that especially with my interest in academics, I think that would be the biggest impact that I could make on the school.
All right. What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Like I said, I am a finance major, so I'm already taking courses in finance, economics, mathematics, etc. And so that all of that education is going to help me in this role specifically. I also am Excel certified, so I'm equipped to handle the programs that are necessary to maintain the budget. I also, like I said, I'm just super passionate about finance, and also I've spent the last 6-ish months working as my sorority's fundraising specialist. So I work to sorry, one second. Sorry. So I got to work with people outside of my sorority and within my sorority on how to handle fundraising and operations and marketing that. So I feel like I'm equipped for this position through that.
And what are some ideas that you have?
I said this in my application, but I really do care about DEI efforts. And since the university has removed university-funded DEI efforts, I think it's really important that we as the budget committee would work to maintain funding for those organizations, especially the Pride Union and the Black Student Union and other organizations as such. I do feel really passionately about that. I also would like to work to form greater relationships with the university departments so that we could work on combined initiatives and combine our funding in some cases. And finally, this is a personal agenda item I have, but I'm not sure if this directly applies. But I do live in the dorms right now, and as a freshman, I feel really strongly about getting janitorial staff in the dorm bathrooms on the weekends, and I think if we reapportioned our budget slightly, that would be a possible goal that we could attain.
All right. So now onto the technical questions. What is the difference between an operational event or an operational request and an event request?
Oh, okay. Operational requests tend to be geared towards general body meetings, while event requests are definitely specific to organizational funding requests for specific events.
What are the big 5 entities?
SAI, Sorority and Fraternity Life, Rights Union, Rec Sports, and Student Gov.
What requests do the Budget Committee cover?
We cover operational, travel, event, and line item requests.
When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
We cover the full year starting at June 30th to July 1st.
Do you have any questions for us?
Not specifically. No.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry again about the confusion.
No worries.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.
So Roderick just replied to me.
I got his phone number also.
Oh, I was going to say, he emailed me back.
Okay.
He was a resign and replace, and he didn't qualify, I think.
Oh,
or he wasn't
I'm
eligible.
familiar with what happened. Okay.
He wasn't eligible, so
understand.
that's why he's not interviewing.
Yeah, his MBA program is part-time, so.
That's what it was.
So he's ineligible from Senate?
Yes.
Correct.
Which is,
Oh,
that's
shit.
why he's not.
Who was he replacing?
I would have to look through. There are so many emails I get. I will go get Cole Bennett. He's next.
Brendan. He replaced Brendan.
I believe he's next.
There you go.
Yes, Cole Bennett. We're a few minutes early. Oh, being ahead of schedule. God, let's go hard.
Let's go.
She's not interviewing. Wait, she's not a Senate.
No, I know.
Okay.
It was a good day.
Hey, how's it going? How you doing?
Welcome in.
How's it going?
Great.
How's it going? How you doing?
How you doing, Cole?
Oh, you?
Hi.
Cole, I don't know if you've been in yet.
Yes.
I'm not a senator. Nice to meet you.
No problem. Nice to meet you. And then we met earlier.
Just for the record, Senator Antonio Hendricks is now a member of the room. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
My name is Cole Bennett, and I'm applying for both a seat, or like the possibility of a seat to be either on Judicial Committee, Judiciary Committee, or in the Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Perfect. So you have, we're going to do 4 minutes, and then we're going to move into technical questions. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
Well, I've been so fortunate to be a part of student government and to be elected in the Senate because my goal is to advocate for others, to represent the student body, and to improve the university as much as possible. I love being a Florida Gator, and I want everyone to love being a Florida Gator as much as possible, and I really want to do whatever I can to make that possible. And I know that student government, especially those in the committees, have that extra motivation, that extra goal, shared goals, shared passions to do the same thing, to really improve student government and the life here on campus for all of our Florida Gators. And these people really have similar passions, like I said, but also different perspectives, and that really helps to promote open-mindedness. Different perspectives are amazing. It's great having people with different views, different beliefs, because there's not one right way on how to do something. There's multiple right ways, and it's about working together to get that done and accomplish that, and that's what I'm really looking forward to, adding my perspective.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Well, both in high school and in my short time here at University of Florida, I've had the fortunate opportunities to be a student leader and to be a leader in several clubs, organizations, and my skills and my personality traits have really enabled me to be a successful fundraiser, raiser of awareness, and advocate for others, as I previously mentioned. And I could go into specifics such as, in high school, running 2 nonprofits of my own, or being a student government association treasurer in high school, being a senator now, being a Cicero now, and all these things have given me different perspectives on how to be a better leader and be a better peer.
Perfect. What are some ideas that you have?
Sure. So starting with Judiciary, it's a very, procedural committee. However, I have some ideas such as increasing feedback on why a bill was either passed, postponed, tabled, or failed, because I do think this will really help senators who are really passionate about, because all of our senators are really passionate about the bills that they submit, and I really think that this will help give them, more feedback on why that bill was either passed or failed, or any of the other options. Also, I think reapportionment should happen sooner. This way, it'll make it for a more smooth and effective process. Other than that, I know that my knowledge of the process of the Judiciary Committee and my ability to advocate for all senators, connect with both sides, see multiple perspectives, will help me ensure that I am impartial, non-biased on all bills, no matter what caucus it originates from. So that's what I am going to ensure to, and I'm going to make sure to do to ensure that I'm an effective member of the committee. As for budget, I think there are several ideas and plans of actions that I plan to implement, including more kind of transparency for the funding request form. And I think that, one way to do this is by pairing with a cabinet, specifically the external communications cabinet. And I think if we have like a funding fiesta week where you can, make, because I talk to a lot of organizational owners, club owners, a lot of things, funding, but they really don't understand how the process works. So if we have that funding fiesta, kind of incentivize organizations and their exec to come out and learn, maybe have some office hours during that week, then it can really help our student organizations here become aware and educate themselves on not only what the funding request looks like, but the different types of funding, because they get base funding of $1,000, and many organizations are unaware of the different types of funding that budget and appropriations kind of enables them to request. So it's not just one type of funding, as many of these executive members are not aware of what they're entitled to and what their rights are.
So moving into technical questions for budget first, what is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Yeah, so operational deals more with like general body meetings, kind of like the basis, including general body meetings as an example, whereas an event request is more for like a specialized event, like if I want to throw, this is so sad because I'm so single and lonely, but a Valentine's Day event to really help, like incentivize more participation, then they can request for a specialized event such as like a Valentine's Day social. I don't know why that was in my mind, that holiday. That was like the saddest one for me, sorry. Anyway, but yeah, they could request that from the event.
All right, what are the big 5 entities?
So the big 5 are the student activities and involvement, the rights union, sorority and fraternity life, rec sports, and student government.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
So I sort of touched on this earlier, but obviously we have operational, then event, also travel, which is so cool because I'm so interested in the study abroad, and also line item.
When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
So student government's fiscal year begins on July 1st and it ends on June 30th.
What are the 5 criteria, moving into judiciary for those technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
So we have constitutionality, we have format, clarity, implication, and legality.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
So a resolution is for those who are really passionate about something and really want to advocate for something. However, it's not legally binding under the student government constitution. Whereas a bill is, it mandates action and it requires under law an action to take place.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in the Judiciary Committee?
Yeah, so I really like this because I call it the 5-5-5-2. 5 minutes presentation, 5 minutes Q&A, 5 minutes deliberation or debate, and then 2 minutes of final privilege.
All right, and what can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
So you can pass it, hopefully, with all our amazing bills that we get sent to Chairman Rubai. We're going to pass so many of them. Or we can postpone a table if they need a little bit of work. That's also okay, because hopefully they'll get passed eventually. And then if they do not pass all those 5 criteria, then unfortunately it's likely that they'll be failed.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, appreciate you all.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Do you mind grabbing Ronan if he's out there?
Sure.
I didn't see him out there.
Oh, okay. If he doesn't...
Give him a call if needed.
That was funny.
It was all over the place.
I really hit home.
I was so caught up in laughing, I forgot what the idea was. I just remember.
No worries. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, Cole. See ya.
I call it the 5-5-5 too.
I don't-
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
Funding fiesta. That's fine.
I love
He was
the
talking about
energy.
special event funding request for the first
Oh.
time.
Yeah.
It literally was not an idea. He
So he
just
started spiraling into.
That's right. Yeah, that's what
That was his example of an event request, I believe. I'll go.
Hello.
I'll go check out there for Ronan one more time.
Hey,
What's up?
And if not, we'll move on. Yeah, if you want to give him a call, I'll just go out and check one more time.
How was Holy?
Oh yeah, your stuff is there.
Oh, thank you. It was epic. My ears are fucked up though. But you could tell that they were low on funding because a lot of their materials ran out really quickly. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys working with me on the timing.
Of course.
I'm glad I could just be here for like a little bit. Thank you so much.
We got you. You barely missed it.
Hey, Ronan, where are you at? Oh, no worries. He's fine right now. All right. Sorry. Yeah, you are, but just whenever you get here, it's no worries. No worries.
around the basketball stadium.
I don't believe so.
I live right across the street, so I have to go to the graphics school.
It might have been gymnastics or something. Where's Ronan?
He's parking in the right seat.
Okay. Antonio, do you mind going a few minutes early?
Sure. I didn't bring a printed copy of my application this time, but
We all should have it.
all right. I emailed it to you, I believe. Maybe.
Let me check.
It was along with the.
If it was included in the application, then we all can already see it. But if it was like a separate email,
It was a separate email.
to the RNA or to the ProTemp email.
Yes.
Yes, this Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes, I can forward that. Wait, did everyone in here? I will forward that along.
I may have missed one person. Maybe two.
Forwarding on to Max.
Thank you.
Everyone else, you all have the supplemental from Antonio, correct?
From his application?
It was sent on Wednesday in an email.
Oh, wait. Give me a sec.
I'm forwarding that right now.
Budget and judiciary application elaboration documents.
Yes.
That's
Cool.
it. All right.
There you got it.
So you will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin, and then we'll go into technical questions.
All right.
So yeah, whenever you'd like to begin.
I am Antonio Hendricks. I am applying for the Budget and Appropriations seat, as well as Judiciary Committee.
All right. And then, what is your motivation for applying?
There's a lot to unpack there. Chiefly, a lot of legislation was submitted this past semester, but not enough was heard. In fact, there were no bills related to election codes that were reviewed at all. I believe through the 4 or so meeting minutes that I checked, they were all just tabled immediately at the beginning of the meeting. Similarly, with the budget, there is 3 items on our budget, such as student government itself, that is currently not funded, and that's going to be a huge undertaking for the committee this summer as we finalize the budget. And currently, there are still no graduate students serving on any of the 5 standing committees within Student Senate. And I'd just like to bring more representation, integrity, and honestly justice to these committees, both of them.
All right. What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
As a graduate engineering student, my entire job is to manage projects with a significant budget, organizing undergraduate and undergraduate students alike for research. We share our results with the world and adhere to a strict code of ethics. I've also served as the Senate Pro Tempore of my undergraduate university, which was the chair of the Legislative Executive Board, very similar to the Judiciary Committee. I also served as the vice chair of the Audit and Budget Committee, similar, of course, to the Budget and Appropriations Committee here. There we controlled the budget, or drafted the budget, for the entire student government. We audited over 60 clubs during my terms, 2 terms, and funded campus-wide events that many of them brought in more people onto campus than the entire student body, sometimes 3 times as much before COVID, which is pretty significant. I was on the leadership team for the 2 largest student orgs on my campus. One, the IEEE student branch, had over 300 members at its height, also before COVID. Yeah. So I have lots of experience and would be capable in both roles.
What are some ideas that you have?
Thank you for asking. For budget, I'm glad we have enough time to go over this. I mentioned previously that I'd like to see a single document that compiles multiple years of funding data, both requested, granted, and spent funds. I think it's really telling that currently student would have to sift through 7 different documents in order to get a picture of how funds have moved across campus related to student government for the past 3 years. That's a lot to deal with, and an Excel sheet would be much simpler to build charts and understand trends. I'd like to see several funded projects, such as what I mentioned before in the INC application, which was similar to the ties that you would see around campus during giving days. I think the student government should advertise elections more, and that would be, doing something like that would be a good step in bringing awareness to the student body as far as this is what SG is and what elections are. And there's a lot more. You can see the document that I sent. As far as
your time, sorry. So moving into the technical questions,
yes,
we'll start with budget. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Operational request goes towards GBM's, general body meetings, and event requests are for more specialized events that maybe happen a few times per semester.
What are the big 5 entities?
The big 5 includes SG, student government, the Rights Union, Rec Sports, student activity and involvement, and sorority and fraternity life, which was previously known as affairs.
What request did the budget committee hear?
The budget committee hears requests for general operations, events, travel, and line item requests.
When does student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
It begins on the first day of July, and ends on the last day of June 30th.
And now into Judiciary. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Constitutionality, legality, format, implication, and constitutionality, legality, format, implication, and there's another, but yes.
We'll come back to it? All right, we'll come back. What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A bill mandates action, and a resolution expresses a sentiment.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in Judiciary?
We've recently heard of the 555, 555-3, or 2, which is 5 minutes of presentation, 5 minutes of Q&A, 5 minutes of debate, and 2 minutes of final privilege before voting.
What can the Judiciary move to do to a bill besides amend it?
The Judiciary Committee may pass, fail, table, or postpone any bill or legislation.
Do you want to try the 5 criteria one more time?
Yes. Constitutionality, legality, implications, format, and don't know what the word is. Basically intent, like what it's trying to do.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes. Were there any particular parts of my application and the suggestions that I had for the committee that you thought were interesting?
If you'd like to come to my office hours, they're Thursday from 1 to 3, and I would be happy to discuss that with you.
Okay. Or feasible, or infeasible.
I believe those are meant to be discussed, not out of the committee to me.
Okay. And obviously, a lot of my suggestions, there was significant overlap with the capacities of the Information and Communications Committee. Are there any, based on my application, which committees do you think these ideas would be most suited for as far as my participation in?
I think it would likely go kind of idea by idea, and I'd love to discuss this more with you, in my office hours.
Okay. What was the 5th thing, by the way?
Oh, it was clarity.
Clarity, yeah.
I'm going to... Do you mind getting Ronan?
Yeah. Hey, Ronan. Come on in.
Hello.
Hey, how's it
Hello.
going?
Yeah.
Sorry to
No worries.
come in a few minutes late. But
No worries.
yeah.
Just to explain, we do 4 minutes of the 3 main questions and then move into technical. So would you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yeah, Ronan Hart. I'm applying for seats on the Budget and Judiciary Committee.
Perfect. Your time will start whenever you begin. What is your motivation for applying?
Yeah, well, real quick, first of all, I'll say good to be here again. Good to see you all again, and I'm happy that I'm very prepared today. I think this will be a good use of everyone's time. But my motivation for applying is for a few reasons. As a new senator, I feel like it's a good opportunity to just get involved like head first. It's a good way to form some relationships across the aisle with people I haven't had the chance to work with yet. As well as I'm a graduate student senator, and that is a sort of underrepresented group within these committees, so being able to represent those interests. Sorry, excuse me. I was running upstairs to get here. As well as the fact that I'm a graduate student, but I also did my undergrad here. So I've been here, this has been year 5. I see where the money has gone. I see what people use and what people don't use in terms of budget. So I feel like I have good perspective on that.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, so thinking of the Budget Committee, I spent 2 terms as treasurer for a club and went through the requesting funding process. So came out with some critiques or ideas of how that could be better, maybe, if you get what I'm talking about. And with regards to Judiciary Committee, I mean, I'm getting an MA in history, like reading technical documents, analyzing arguments, sources, citations. It's my bread and butter. That's what I'm used to.
So what are some ideas that you have?
So for thinking of Judiciary Committee and thinking of how things went last Tuesday, which I think was maybe a little frustrating for a lot of people. So there really seems to be a need to work out these kinds of things in the committee rather than taking up everybody's time in the Senate. So working through small things like typos or misspellings in these bills, as well as trying to come to bipartisan compromises over things that have been kind of controversial, but really using the space for what it's meant to be, for like achieving those kind of across the aisle things. So, and with regards to budget, like I kind of mentioned, that I think there are some problems with the way funding is allocated and everything, especially for me, who did not have a lot of guidance from a previous treasurer. I really just wanted to talk to someone and put like a human face on that process. I know Stocketh has been doing like the Mocha Mondays, and I think that's great, but I feel like that's something that could be expanded out a little bit, and maybe like something like a listserv for all club treasurers. They get an email invitation to a larger event, could be in person or over Zoom, that involves treasurer, SG Finance, people on the budget committee, the chair of the budget committee. I know Rodriguez has experience from SG Finance, so I think he would be a good person to kind of make that happen.
All right. And now into the technical questions. We'll begin with budget. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Operational is for general body meetings, and event requests are for any other kind of special event that club holds.
What are the big 5 entities?
The Student Activities and Involvement, the Rights Union, Rec Sports, the Sorority and Fraternity Affairs, and Rec Sports, and Student Government.
What requests do the Budget Committee hear?
Travel, line item, operational, and event.
When does student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
It's from July 1st to June 30th next year.
Now on to judiciary, the technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Constitutionality, clarity, legality, format, and intent.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
Implication, rather, not intent, yeah.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A bill demands some kind of action, something being done, and a resolution is sort of stating a sentiment.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in Judiciary?
It's the presentation for 5 minutes, 5 minutes of Q&A, 5 minutes of debate over that bill, and then 2 minutes of a final presentation.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
Pass, fail, postpone, and table.
All right, perfect. Do you have any questions for us?
I don't think so.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank all of you. Good to see everybody again.
You too.
And do you mind grabbing Matolo? Is that pronounced? Oh,
Yeah.
Are you Matolo? Well, never mind. Nice to meet you.
Hey,
Welcome.
Thank you.
Perfect. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yes, my name is Matolo Foyet, and I'm applying for a seat in the Budget and Appropriations Committee.
All right. You'll have 4 minutes, and then we'll move into technical questions. What is your motivation for applying?
My motivation for applying for a seat in this committee is that, look, it's become very trivial, right, to highlight the underrepresentation of graduate students in the student government. And so, especially knowing that graduate students represent about 1/3 of the student population on campus. So applying today for me is a way to balance that divide and also involve in student government affairs. Also, as a new senator, I am very curious about how things work here, and I feel like I will not be able to properly do my job if I do not understand the apparatus, the student government apparatus. So joining this committee for me is a way to not only understand better how things work here, but also contribute from my unique perspective on student government affairs. Yes.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Okay, so prior to joining UF, right, I am originally from Africa. And so back in Africa, I was heavily invested in the startup industry. And we say startup industry says being able to manage funds that are being allocated to you to run your startup. Also, I founded an NGO when I was 17, back in Ghana. And as the founder, I had to not only mobilize resources, but also ensure that I managed those resources very well. And it had to do with building libraries in remote areas and stuff like that. Now, in the US, I'm the current founding curator of the Global Shapers Community, which is a World Economic Forum entity. So we founded it last year. And as the curator, my role is to ensure that the funds that we are being allocated are also well used, right? And I believe that that experience that I've accumulated throughout the years will come handy in this position that I'm applying for. Finally, I'm not only a graduate student, I'm also an instructor on campus. And some of the classes that I've taught include resource economics and also economic geography. And so I believe that I will not only add up as a graduate student, but also as an instructor on campus who understands some of the, who has not only theoretical background of financial issues, but also a practical experience on how these things are and how we can adapt it to the student life issues on campus.
What are some ideas that you have?
Okay, so in terms of ideas, I've got 3
left,
ideas.
by the way.
Sorry?
About a minute left, by the way.
Oh, okay. So the first idea I have is a budget transparency initiative. So by this, I mean developing a framework that makes the budgeting process accessible and more understandable to all the stakeholders in the student government, right? And this includes providing regular budget performance reports that are going to show like visual summaries of how the budget is being allocated, where it's coming from, how it's being managed, where it's going, and the impact, the global impact on the students' life. Also, the second idea is sustainability and efficiency audit. So I think we should implement an annual sustainability and efficiency review of the budgets under the committee's purview. And this audit will aim to identify opportunities to cost savings and better allocate resources. And finally, my third idea is the emergency reserve fund.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Sorry. Now on to the technical questions. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
The difference between an operational request and an event request is that the operational request is used for general body meetings, while the event request is for any other event that student organizations request funds for.
What are the big 5 entities?
There is SAI, Student Government, Rexport, Rights Union, and the Sorority and Fraternity Affairs.
What requests do the Budget Committee hear?
Sorry?
What requests do the Budget Committee hear?
So it goes for operational request, travel, event, and line item.
When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
Student government begins on July 1st and ends on June 30th.
Do you have any other questions for the committee?
Yes, I do. I've got a question regarding the I&C committee. So my understanding is that it's not going to be there's not going to be any R&A meeting for that, if I understand well. So.
Sorry, go ahead. You can finish your question.
So I wanted to know if there is another date that has been scheduled for that, or if, how is this going to go?
So all of those committee applications will be heard at the next RNA meeting. That date and time has not yet been set, but you will be notified via email over the listserv when it is.
Okay. Because I've also applied for a seat there, and I just want to know how.
You don't have to reapply. It'll stay. Your application will still hold. We'll just let you know when that meeting is.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. The next interview is a phone interview. I will give her a call.
Hello.
Hi, is this Angelina?
It is.
Hi, Angelina. You're on speaker with the Replacement Agenda Committee.
Perfect.
Do you mind stating your name and what you applied for?
Yeah, Angelina Fentress for Budget and Appropriations Committee.
All right. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
Yeah, so my main motivation coming into Senate, Budget and Appropriations definitely kind of drew my attention just because I've always had an interest in kind of how the process works and also just the backbone of all of Senate does and the tangible actions that we can make from it. So I've always just had a genuine passionate interest in that aspect. But I've also just wanted to learn more about how Senate works and how we're able to make that tangible impact for our constituents through the Budget Committee. And I just really want to be a part of that decision-making process for a committee that has such a huge impact that directly correlates with so many of our students.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Definitely. I think that I definitely have experience both in the technical aspect and kind of the more personal teamwork aspect. I think as I am a finance major, I've definitely had a lot of accounting courses that have kind of brought me into that realm and helped me with Excel and things like that, which I've also been able to apply through different orgs like Student Finance Group, where I've been able to analyze different companies and kind of get used to using different terminology that comes with kind of budgeting and planning, and then also kind of explaining those terms and my critical thinking to others, which I think is super important when working on a team for something like this, is explaining your thinking and explaining why you make certain decisions, which I think would definitely come in handy to making the teamwork just flow better. Additionally, kind of as I've been a peer leader before for first year Florida, so teaching students and things like that has also helped me learn how to be a leader in that aspect, but also be there for my team when making hard decisions that impact a lot of people. And then finally, I've definitely worked on the other side of this, where I've had to, plan events for an organization, such as on the recruitment committee, where, we're trying to figure out how to finance events and where to get that money from. So I also kind of understand where students are coming from when they're putting in those funding requests and trying to make their org run as best as possible.
All right. What ideas do you have?
Yeah, so my main ideas are definitely, I want to make use of like the town hall meeting times that we have during funding request times to kind of host like Q&A periods for any student leaders that need to, ask any questions, ask any clarifications, and kind of like get that process started, whether it's this semester or happens in the future. I just know so many students get confused by that funding request and they want to get the money possible that they need, but it's just, can be hard in that aspect. And I think also having office hours during that time with the budget and appropriations leaders, so students can not only like get to know us face to face and see who's controlling this money, but also, ask any specific questions that may be pertainable just to their org. And then finally, I definitely want to see about collaborating or pairing with INC to help publish, accurate and efficient info, not only to like the Senate Instagram, but also like just making it easier and more accessible through the website, as it can be confusing, like I said, for leaders during that time with the funding requests and all of that.
Perfect. We'll now go on to the technical questions. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Yeah, so operational budget requests are just for general body meetings, those like daily happenings, and then an event request is something special that an org can request money for.
All right, next, what are the big 5 entities?
Yeah, so you have student activities and involvement, student government, of course, rec sports, which takes the most money, rights union, and then sorority and fraternity life.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
They hear operational, travel requests, event requests, and then line item transfers.
When does student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
Yeah, so it runs from July 1st to June 30th.
All right, do you have any other questions for us?
No, that was all.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Andrew Sabadash. Yeah, do you mind?
Hello.
Hi.
Trying this really quick.
Does it matter?
Do you mind stating your name and what you applied for?
Yes, my name is Andrew Sabadash, and I applied for Judiciary and Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Alrighty, you have 4 minutes whenever you would like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
Okay, my motivation for applying is I'm a first-year student this year. I was super excited to have the opportunity to be nominated for the slate and campaign for my Senate seat. And as soon as I got that position, I really wanted to engage. I wanted to be one of the senators who really takes advantage of all the Senate has to offer, and just bring my skills and experiences to the table and really get involved in Senate itself.
All right. What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Okay, so like I said before, I'm only a first year. I don't have too much experience here at UF. However, like I'm sure many of us, I was on student government in high school. I was sophomore, junior, and student body president, which is a great experience. We have a lot of experience with budget and events and honestly constitutionality and legality of things. So I wanted to continue that legacy in college, as well as I've had many other philanthropic events that I did. I had a service project that I'm really passionate about in high school, and I'm trying to bring that here to UF. But yeah.
All right. What are some ideas that you have?
Okay, so I really would like a more transparent student government. I didn't really know much about it as before I slated or anything. I was like, what student government? I did not know we have 3 branches. I didn't know how structured it is and how official it is. And so I really would want to communicate more with the student body and maybe make some more pages or maybe a website that students can actually see, like bills on the table, bills that are going to go through. And just, I want them to engage. I want them to have access to more of what we do and what we can accomplish as a group.
Perfect. Now we'll move on to the technical questions for budget. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
An operational request is for like, general body meetings, and an event is for special events that organizations are requesting for.
What are the big 5 entities?
SAI, Rights Union, Student Government, Rec Sports, SFL.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
They hear event, operational, travel, and line item.
When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
Begins July 1st, ends June 30th.
Now on to judiciary. What is your motivation? What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Constitutionality, legality, clarity, format, implication.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A bill mandates action, and a resolution has a sentiment. And yeah.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in judiciary?
It is. Is that 5 minutes of Q&A, 5 minutes of presentation, 5 minutes of debate, 5 minutes or 2 minutes of final privilege?
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
Pass, postpone, fail, table.
Do you have any questions for us?
I do not.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you mind getting Jackson out there? Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a good Sunday.
Of course, you too.
Jackson with an X.
Very cool.
Hey.
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
A little bit sick, but we'll manage through it.
Good thing we got a table between us.
Yes, very true. I was thinking about wearing the mask.
All right. Do you mind stating your name and what you applied for?
Jackson Ranson. Do you need me to spell it?
No. Well,
okay.
do you know?
And I applied for Judiciary and Budget.
All right. Perfect. You have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin, or 4 minutes, and then we move into technical questions.
Okay.
What is your motivation for applying?
My motivation for applying is that I've always tried to seek leadership positions in any student organization that I became involved with. Especially at the University of Florida, I've had a lot of opportunities, and I was very thankful to be able to get into student government and Senate specifically. So I'm just thrilled for the chance to try to make an impact in this organization like I have other ones. I was very involved at the University of South Florida in the Multicultural Diversity Club, organized a lot of protests and a lot of student action. And I was very proud of my time there and what I was able to contribute at high school, which I'm sorry if we shouldn't go back there. But I did a lot of volunteer work as a peer mentor, specifically with the disabled kids at our school. That goes back to elementary school, where we just had a good program about trying to reach out, be tolerant and inclusive of as many people as possible. And I was head of T Club, which is like a senior club for seniors. So everywhere that I've been, I've just tried to apply for leadership positions and bring the experience that I have to the organizations I become a part of.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So for the budget position, all my work experience has been in finance, mainly like systems management. I'm in information technologies for a business where I'm from in West Virginia. We manage about $32 million annually across 10 subsidiaries, and I'm familiar with ADP payroll system, Depulti. Whenever I was studying at the University of South Florida, I worked on OpenGov when I was interested in urban planning with Professor Benton, and I feel like I have a type of experience in finding the perfect software for anyone's kind of business needs. That'd be a wonderful resource for budget. And does anybody know if it's pencil and paper? I just recently joined a fraternity. They were pencil and paper, and I was like, no, we can't be doing this. But I would recommend, well, no, that's later. But and then for the other, I am a political science major for Judiciary, and I was on the mock trial team for the university here. So I have somewhat of an idea of how to argue my case, of how to listen to others. And while it might not be in the same like style format as you'd see in the judiciary, I think that I'd be able to adjust rather quickly.
You've got about 1 minute left.
Oh,
What
sorry.
ideas do you have?
So my idea for budget would be to use QuickBooks if we're not using it. That's my favorite software for small things that don't require revenue or significant expense. And for judiciary, I would just try to use charisma, my personability, to just foster a better atmosphere.
All right. We'll now go into the technical questions. For budget, what is the difference between an operational event and an operational request and an event request?
An operational request is just for GBMs, and an event request is a special request made by an organization.
What are the big 5 entities?
SAI, Student Activities and Involvement, Student Government, the Rights Union, REC, and Fraternity and Sorority Life.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
The budget committee hears requests for funding.
All right. When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
It begins July 1st and ends June 30th.
For judiciary, what are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Constitutionality, implication, legality, clarity, and format.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A bill mandates action. A resolution expresses sentiment.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in judiciary?
5 minutes of presentation, 5 minutes of Q&A, 5 minutes of debate, and 2 minutes of final privilege.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
It can pass, postpone, fail, or besides amend, approve.
All right. Do you have any questions for us?
No.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you could grab, if Amar is out there, if you could grab.
Thank you.
Bye.
What's his seat?
He replaced Jason Drucker for off campus. Yes.
Oh, what's his name?
Jackson Ransom.
That's a cool name. Right? Stage name.
Duh.
That's sad. We went from 2 child actors down to 0.
That's what I said.
Guys,
Hello.
good to see you. Good to see you.
How's it going?
Doing well. How are you?
Wonderful.
Hi. How you doing?
Where should I sit? Right here?
Anywhere you want.
Yeah. All right. Do you mind stating your name and what you applied for the record?
Yeah, so I'm Amar Sakrani, and I applied for Budgeting and Appropriations Committee.
All right. You have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
So my motivation for applying is, well, let me restart. So throughout my life, I've had many different experiences that have kind of like taught me to be more humble and to be grateful for where I am. So in my junior year, I was exposed to this organization called Project Downtown. And in Project Downtown, we basically feed the homeless every Friday in Miami, in downtown Miami. And we would see kind of like, you see obviously a completely different way of living, right? So I've been very fortunate throughout my life. I've had a beautiful life. I have a family. I've been blessed, right? But I've always had that desire to make things better and be the change. So I see my way of being the change through student government, specifically Senate. And I think that I can be a better part and do a better role of that through the Budgeting and Appropriations Committee. So I kind of see myself fitting in that role because I'm a finance major and a lot of my knowledge and a lot of my learnings are kind of geared towards that. And I think that I can do a good job, be responsive, be diligent, and get all my work done and try to excel in the position and help basically our school and help us do a better job of that.
What experience do you have that make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, for sure. So, also in my junior year of high school, I started my own nonprofit. It's called Every Job Counts. And basically for this nonprofit, we did a variety of fundraisers, and we raised lots of money to be able to fund solar-powered wells in a desert in South Asia. So we've funded 7 wells so far, and each well costs about $1,500 to $2,500 to build. So we've raised over $10,000, and I have managed that money and managed the resources that we've had, and bought like supplies for the fundraisers and all of that, and been able to manage that effectively. And I'm able to have completed 7 different projects in 7 different villages. I'm also a finance major, as I said, so I've taken a variety of classes that will help me in accounting and managing monies. And lastly, I'm also an incoming intern in the wealth management sector for a Fortune 100 company called TIAA Bank.
What are some ideas that you have?
For sure. So I would like kind of student government to hold workshops with student organizations, and we can teach them the whole process and how to better get their money and their funding, and just a little bit more transparency. I know that we've been working on that, but just transparency on like the whole process and working out with them. I also think that we could like kind of assign like liaisons for like student orgs, so maybe like some person in Senate can work with the student org and kind of just be a little bit on track of them. If they have any questions, they know they have a person that they can reach out to, like one designated person almost.
Perfect. So now into technical questions. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
For sure. So an operational request is for general body meetings, versus a event request is for funding for a special event that's hosted through an organization that they're requesting funding for.
What are the big 5 entities?
So we have SAI, student government. We have rec sports. We have, what are the last 2? We have sorority and Greek life, and we have the rights.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
We hear operational, event, travel, and line item.
When does student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
July 1st and June 30th.
Do you have any other questions for us?
Not really.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you guys for taking your time to
Of course.
interview me.
Do you mind, is his name Jeffran? How do you pronounce it?
Calvin Jeans.
Calvin Jeans?
He's our.
How does he go by? What does he go by?
Honestly, call him
Or
Calvin.
go by?
I call him Calvin.
Calvin? Okay. Do you mind going
Or Jeff.
asking for a Calvin?
For sure. Thank you guys
Thank
once
you.
again.
Thank you.
Monish, it was only after you knocked on wood that we got behind schedule.
I know, making so much work. We're so behind. It's not.
No worries.
We're honestly not. We're only about 7 minutes back,
Yeah,
which, considering how many interviews we've gone through,
That's true.
yes, we have someone that.
Oh, Abigail's a duplicate.
Yes,
Hey
yes.
guys, I contacted. You're looking for Calvin, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So he
I
should have
just.
emailed you guys with his phone number, because he was requesting a call
Oh,
and interview.
yes, I literally knew this.
No worries.
And then I just missed it.
Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. Yeah, is this you guys sit in?
Of course.
How was Women's Caucus, guys?
Women's
Women's Caucus was awesome. You're not You want to sit there?
Well, we're going to call Jeff Fran or whatever, but you can sit wherever.
Calvin,
you like.
he goes by
Calvin. Okay.
Oh, actually, what?
Yeah, Laurel didn't show up, so.
We're about to call. We're about to call Calvin.
Damn.
Yeah, she was supposed
Okay,
to go
thank you.
against her.
Perfect. I already had it written down on the minutes already, but
Okay.
didn't. Hello, is this Calvin?
Yep, this is Calvin.
Hi, this is Blake with the budget or with the replacement and agenda committee. Are you ready for your interview?
I am ready for my interview, yeah.
Do you mind stating your name and what seat you're applying for?
My name is Jeffrey Calvin Jeans, and I'm applying for the Budget and Appropriations Committee seat.
All right, perfect. You will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
My motivation for applying to the Budget and Appropriations Committee stems from the desire
to leverage my mechanical engineering background and my analytical skills and my experiences to promote better student, especially graduate student experiences while they study in the university. Also, during my undergrad, in the form of projects, hackathons, and internship, I've learned the importance of precise and efficient money management, more formally resource management. I'm also motivated to collaborate with my fellow peers in optimizing the $24 million budget to the immediate needs as well as the long-term needs for students who are currently studying and for students and for fellow future student prospects. In essence, my motivation is to genuinely make University of Florida the best at everything and to make our resources be used in an efficient way.
All right. The next question: what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
All right. My background in engineering and hands-on experiences with project management helps me be a strong candidate for this position. Currently, I'm working as a laboratory assistant at University of Florida, where I design experiments, analyze data, and optimize resources, which directly mirrors to suggesting decisions made on the budget, analyze and efficiently make the budget moves, and optimize and efficiently cut down resources where it needs to be cut down. Back in undergrad, during my final year project, I was tasked on budget allocation, and I would say I did a pretty good job because we had a very tight budget, and I'm pretty thrilled to announce that we completed within that budget. I've also conducted a lot of tournaments, especially in badminton and basketball, in my undergrad, where I was the co-chair for student sports and recreation, where it toned my money allocating skills.
All right, and what are some ideas that you have?
My ideas would be, the first one would be a data-driven decision-making. So that means I would love to propose to analyze data using, resource data, resource allocation using computational tools, or even code Excel to streamline the allocating procedures and allocate budgets properly. The second thing would be engagement programs, student engagement programs to be precise. In that, I would like to gather input from diverse range of students on their own personal needs. For example, in my friend circle, there is very little supplies in the UF surplus pantry, so I would like to make changes to bring in more supplies and to change goods every twice a week rather than once a week.
All right, moving on to the technical questions. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
An operation budget request is for general body meetings, and an event request is for special events that an organization would request funding for.
What are the big five entities?
The big five entities are Rec Sports, Rights Union, Student Government, Sorority and Fraternity Affairs, and Student Activities and Involvement.
What requests do the Budget Committee hear?
They hear event, line item, travel, and operation.
When does the student government's fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
Fiscal year begins on July 1st and ends on June 30th.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, I'm good.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Alrighty. Are you ready?
One question. So, I'm only applying for budget and appropriation. So my INC committee, like that, I think I misunderstood. I assume that I'd be applying for, or like interviewing for both. It's a little embarrassing, but I made this plan of action for both committees. Will I be interviewed for INC or no? Not at all.
No, so all of the INC and RNE applications are for next week.
Okay.
Or whatever the committee can meet.
So should I reapply next week?
You don't
or-
have to reapply.
or I'll
The
be
application
moved?
will hold. Like
Awesome.
your application is still
Okay,
open.
fired. Thank you so much. So I emailed you. This is embarrassing now. I emailed you like a list about my plan of action, and I printed it out. If you guys would like to see it,
I forwarded it to everyone.
I appreciate it. I tagged them all anyways, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so only budget.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Do you mind stating your name and
Give me
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Thank you.
You say 2 minutes? Do I just make that up in my brain?
No, I said 2 minutes, please.
Okay, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Great. Whoa.
How's interviewing been?
It's been good.
Yeah. Tired?
Yeah.
True.
I got like an hour left though.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Let me go run to the bathroom too. Actually, that's not an hour left.
Fire. Am I allowed to know if anyone else has applied for INC chair or no?
No, I can't disclose
You
that.
can't disclose that? Just tell me.
I don't know if that. There's a lot in there that's FERPA protected. I don't know if that is, but I'm not gonna even
should
get
try to
anywhere. I'm not getting anywhere near the line.
Yeah. Have you made a decision?
I have
can send
not.
you an updated resume too.
That's all right.
No, I got
Thank
you. Blake. Trust me. I'm very bipartisan.
I believe it.
Fortunately, bipartisanship isn't exactly the MO of Senate.
Oh, Ronan, please.
That's so funny.
How do you like my outfit? Did you see that it changed?
I did see that you changed, and I was like, that's not
Drip,
you.
drip.
You're not wearing that hijab.
Thank you. I like this hijab.
No, I do,
It's
but
my
I saw
favorite
you wearing.
one.
I did too, but like, I was like, that can't be her. Like, she's
No,
wearing
it is
black.
me. Who else wears a hijab in Senate? I
There's
like
also
it.
about the green hijab in the portal. And I was like, that's not her. She's wearing black.
In the portal?
But I was wrong anyway.
Oh, LOL.
We'll note that all of this conversation is in no way embarrassing, that everything that's being said is still on the record.
I was gonna
The
say,
meeting wasn't
I could
called
move to recess,
Yes,
except
the
there
meeting
was
was not
here.
called to a recess.
It's
so
okay, it's a little silly.
Keep that in mind as you converse amongst yourselves.
No worries.
Yeah, that's the only reason
No
Blake's not
worries. Who's
telling
going
you
to be listening
why
to
you're,
this?
that you're gonna be
Are you
back.
serious?
He would tell you.
Move to a recess right now. Move to a recess.
I will call us to a recess until ordered back by the chair. Are there any, by unanimous consent? Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion. I call this meeting back to order at 5:49 p.m. We are now in line for Isha Khan. Do you mind stating your name and what seat you're applying for?
Yes, I'm Isha Khan, and I'm applying for the Budget and Appropriations Committee seat.
All right. You have 4 minutes whenever you would like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
For sure. So, as someone who has been in Senate since the fall and has heard about a lot of organizations about budget problems, I myself have written resolutions in support of utilizing our Senate reserve transfers to help minority organizations like PSA, like Pakistani Student Association, Indian Student Association, and Islam on Campus for them to fund their events. I understand now, at least, that those resolutions were unconstitutional in nature, and I apologize, I guess, for not understanding at the time when I was writing them how they were unconstitutional, and I recognize that. But I would like to be on this committee to represent minority voices as someone who is in Islam on Campus, who is in Pakistani Student Association, who wants to represent those minority voices. And recently, I was elected as I'm South Asian Caucus co-chair, so I can also advocate for those voices in that space. So that is my motivation for applying, and I think that I'm quite interested in understanding how the budget works as of right now. I think that we can all agree that there are some cases where, at least for myself, it's a little bit iffy, like where the money is going. I'd like to understand where the money is going and ensuring that it is an efficient use of our money and of the students' money, essentially.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, for sure. So I touched on it lightly before. I don't exactly have much treasurer experience in college, but in high school I was within student government. Within my high school, I worked with the accountant there. During my junior year within junior senate, I was essentially the treasurer. It wasn't an elected position, but it was more sort of delegated position. I'm the one who talked to the accountant. I'm the one who planned Sadie Hawkins, and within my senior year, I was elected as vice president of the student body and was tasked with planning Winter Wonderland. So that's our donation event of our high school. So essentially, we were inviting local elementary schools that were I forget the word for it, but essentially they were underserved. So we were inviting these elementary schoolers to our campus for a little bit of a field day during December, so it was called Winter Wonderland, and I had to collaborate with all of our student organizations in high school, which there were over 100, I believe, that I had to collaborate with, ensure that they were donating school supplies for those elementary schoolers, and ensuring with our accountant that we have the money to hold such an event, and ensuring that the students that put in their money and were buying things, because during that Winter Wonderland, during that field day, essentially each organization had booths for those kids, and they had to be reimbursed for that money. So while this is in the high school standpoint, I am very acquainted with those forms and understanding how to fill out those forms properly, and I think those skills would be transferable. Also within my time as vice president of the student body within high school.
40 seconds.
Thank you. So I worked with the accountant to plan homecoming and prom. Essentially, for decorations, I had to ensure that all students were receiving their reimbursements. I was working with administration, so I do believe that those skills are transferable. And as someone who's part of the INC committee, I'd like to work together with budget to ensure more transparency. I know that Damien Rodriguez, who was recommended as budget chairperson or chairman, wanted to create a kind of document for all treasurers, and I'd like to work with him to also create a listserv.
That is time. Now moving into the technical questions. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Right, so an operational request is for GBM, so general body meetings, and an event request is for all other events that an organization would like to hold.
What are the big 5 entities?
Yeah, so that's student activities and involvement, rights union, student government, sorority and fraternity affairs, and rec sports.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
Event, travel, line item.
We can come back.
And okay, thanks.
We'll go back to it.
Preach.
When does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
Dude, July 1st to June 30th.
What requests do the budget committee hear?
Event, travel, operational, event, line item, travel.
Do you have any questions for the committee?
When will decisions be out?
Sometime shortly before the agenda gets sent out, so probably early tomorrow, early afternoon, probably.
Okay, and for next week's RNA meeting, I don't have to submit another application?
Correct.
And do you have any idea when the next meeting will be set?
Not currently.
Fabulous. That's all. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, and I have more ideas because I wasn't able to get to my portion in that document. Please look over that.
Of course.
Thanks.
Do you mind grabbing mine?
Yeah.
I need to eat. I'm going to go. No. Are you sure? I want food. I thought I was
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey guys.
So you cleaned up.
I cleaned up. Me too. My shower's blue. It's good. Oh, my case.
No.
Yeah, my phone did.
My phone's messed up.
It's distressed.
Yep.
Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Hi, I'm Maya Dekila, and I applied for both Judiciary and Budget.
You'll have 4 minutes, whatever you'd like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
So I previously was sitting on this committee. It's just kind of weird to be on the other side of the table. And as with that position, I was on this committee, and I love the experience. I learned so much from it. But now that I'm no longer in my term of being a member at large, I now have like an opportunity to go outside of RNA committee, and I wanted to apply to different committees. Now that I've had one committee experience, I don't want to stop at one committee experience. I want to keep going and getting to see what other committees are like. And so I thought it would be a good idea to apply to others.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So within Senate, I was member at large my first term in Senate, and I've clerked for Budget Committee 2 or 3 times within my life. I literally wasn't even a senator when I clerked for Budget the first time. I've sat into 3 Judiciary committees, and that was just for fun. I didn't really have anything to do, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go watch it because I thought it would be fun. Also, I wanted to go see Aaron be chairman. But so I was sitting in Judish. Outside of Senate, I have a lot of also executive branch experience. I'm on the Rights Board of Managers right now, so that also kind of works in like with budget experience a little bit because I'm working on the I'm not the finance chair, but I've worked on the finance team for the rights, and I know there's a lot of money that goes towards within the budget. Judiciary. Within that, I have a lot of like legal writing practices. I'm taking Judge Stafford's class right now, and I know he's killing me, but like he's teaching me a lot, and so it's that I feel like that would help in Judiciary Committee. Executive branch, I have class councils. I also have Action SG. I have what else? Recently SGI. So I have a lot of work within like different city government aspects.
What are some ideas that you have?
So for Judiciary, I think, kind of like we have the new member orientation, I would like us to have, I want to hold, for every senator, not just new members, I want to hold a how-to legislation. I know it's on the website, but I want the Judiciary chairman or people on Judish to explain how to write it, the format itself. I want to, I understand it's online, but having someone speak it to the senators is so much easier, especially for new senators. How to do it, I want them to explain each of the implications. So for example, format, what is implication, or what are the 5 criteria, because people don't know what that means when they are told what their bills are being failed on, or what they're being talked about. So I want people to understand what's going on in Judiciary Committee. With budget, I have kind of a similar idea, but I want to do kind of how the President's Toast works, and they emailed a bunch of presidents on campus to come to the President's Toast. I want to email the treasurers of a bunch of student orgs on campus, and invite them to the Senate, and invite them and be like, you guys are the treasurers, you guys need to understand how to apply for the budget, because the treasurers are the one that need to understand how to get funding for their student orgs. I want to explain them our system of why we have this form. I want to explain the backup form, because a lot of people don't know about the backup forms. I want to explain them the first come first serve idea, because a lot of people don't really know about that, and they don't know how their request is looked at in budget committee. They don't know what the order is, and I want to explain to them how that works. So kind of there's a President's Toast, a Treasurer's Toast for the budget committee, and we can explain to them how that works. So those are my ideas for those 2 committees.
All right, now into the technical questions. We'll start with budget. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Okay, so an operational request is GBMs, general body meetings, and an event request is a special event they request money for.
What are the big 5 entities?
SAI, Student Government, Sorority and Fraternity Office, Rights Union, and Rex Boards.
What requests do the Budget Committee hear?
They hear operational, event, travel, and line item transfers.
When does students' fiscal year begin, and when does it end?
July 1st to June 30th.
Right, and now on to Judiciary. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Constitutionality, legality, format, implication, clarity.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
So a resolution is expressing a sentiment or feeling, explaining what you feel, and then bill is mandating an action.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in Judiciary?
So you come in, you get 5 minutes presentation, 5 minutes of question and answer, 5 minutes of debate, 2 minutes of personal privilege.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
You can pass it, you can table it, you can postpone it, and you can pass, table, postpone, and fail. I didn't say fail, okay.
Do you have any questions for us?
How would you guys, like, what's like your example of like people sitting on these committees? Like, what do you expect out of these people that are sitting in these committees?
I think a question like that would be best answered in like my office hours if you'd like to talk
Okay, I
about
bet.
it more.
We could do that.
Also, like the chairs of those committees.
Perfect.
If that's all, thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Do you mind grabbing Ella?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello.
Where should I sit?
You sit wherever you'd like.
Okay.
Do you mind stating your name and the seat you applied for?
Ella Furman and the Judiciary Committee.
Perfect. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
So I really want to just like hit the ground running with student government. I really want to get involved. I feel like I owe it to my constituents, and I also love the University of Florida, and I want to make sure that I leave this place better than when I came here and found it.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
I've had legislative and policy experience starting in 2018. I was a nationally ranked public forum debater in high school, and I am now a coach, so I have a lot of experience with legislation and helping really like take it down to like its bare minimum and like seeing both sides and dealing with stakeholders. I also had a legislative internship with Representative Heather Edelson in the Minnesota House of Representatives, where I helped her author legislation while also working on meeting with stakeholders and people on the other side of the aisle.
What are some ideas that you have?
My main ideas center around like access and equity. That's like my main focus, and always has and always will be. I really want to ensure that our campus is accessible to students, especially as someone who has a disability. And I also want to work and ensure that we are making more like allergy inclusive things for students on campus. I have celiac disease, and I'm also a tour guide. So one of the questions that I'm asked all the time is like, how are the allergy options on campus? And to be honest, they're not great. And I've had multiple reactions due to like the food here. So I really want to work and make that better for students.
So now to the technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Constitutionality, implications, legality, format, and clarity.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A bill constitutes an action, while a resolution is a statement.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in Judiciary?
It starts with a 5-minute presentation, and then it goes to a 5-minute Q&A, and then it's a 5-minute debate, and then 2 minutes of final privilege.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
They could pass it, fail it, postpone it, or table it.
All right, do you have any questions for us?
No, that's all.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
Do you mind grabbing Priya?
Yeah.
She's here.
Oh, I'm all over the place today. Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
Hello. Doing well. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yeah, my name is Priya Majathia, and I'm applying for the Judiciary Committee.
Perfect. You will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Oh, when my timer pulls up. What is your motivation for applying?
Sure. So I've been in student government since the 6th grade. It's been a long time. I've seen student government in very small scales, such as my middle school, through my high school, and now at a very large scale here at UF. I love getting involved. I love being in clubs, but it's really one thing to just be a participant, starting to get involved in something. It's an entirely different thing to take it to a bigger level and say, I want a position, I want to create some action. That's something I'm really passionate about. I have a genuine interest in helping our student community or our student body in any way that I can. To give you a little bit of backstory, I applied to be a senator in the fall. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but I tried again, and I'm a current class senator, and so I think being on this committee would be a great opportunity to improve our student body even more.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Sure. So I don't think you guys care about my high school experience, but I had a little bit of leadership in and out of school, clubs, things like that. Here at UF, I'm involved in research with the Pharmacology and Therapeutics Department, Puppy Club, Free Pharmacy Society, some other organizations. And, Senate is kind of my main focus right now, and I think that my prior experiences have taught me some strong communication skills, public speaking skills, dedication that could be very useful to someone in this position.
What are some ideas that you have?
Sure. So, prefacing, I haven't been in Judiciary Committee before, but one of the ideas I have is, as a new senator, I don't really know much about the process, and so one thing I want to do is to kind of introduce what legislation would be appropriate to pass, why, how to get it out there, how to take those steps, and to kind of tell that to the student body as well, to see what they would be interested in, if it follows those conditions and things like that. Another thing is, I know it's kind of a smaller committee, so including some diverse perspectives to make sure that we're getting more well-rounded decision, and so maybe creating a survey for students to see, okay, what do you think about this? Or talking to other senators, or contacting law students to see, okay, what are the legalities of this? Is this something that would be possible, make it happen, things like that.
Right. Now, onto the technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Sure. Constitutionality, implication, format, clarity, and legality.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
So a resolution expresses some kind of sentiment, whereas a bill kind of mandates action.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in Judiciary?
Sure. So 5 minutes of presentation, 5 minutes of Q&A, 5 minutes of debate, and then 2 minutes of final privilege.
And what can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
It can pass, fail, postpone, or table.
All right. Do you have any questions for us?
What do you think would be the hardest challenge for somebody in the Judiciary Committee?
I'm not sure. I would reach out to Chairman Rubai.
Okay.
It's the best answer I can give you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
If I'm being honest, as long as I'm going to answer a little, if they're familiar with all of the rules and procedures and codes, the biggest challenge might actually just be keeping track of the number of them that come in.
Good to know.
Do you mind grabbing Noor?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yes, I'm Norgol Sorki. I'm a freshman and I'm applying for the Judiciary Committee.
All right. You have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin.
One of the reasons I'm applying for this committee is because I just joined Senate, and though I've not been here for a long time, I'm very eager to become more involved, and I feel as if this committee aligns closest with my career goals, and that is working on Capitol Hill, dealing with policy and politics. I know that joining a committee would be the perfect way for me to get more involved in Senate. I don't really know where I see myself going throughout Senate, but I definitely see myself continuing Senate throughout college. And I feel like joining this committee would not only give me a deeper understanding of Robert's rules and how laws actually are passed, but I feel like it would give me a great foundation not only for experience, but moving forward, graduating UF.
Perfect. What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Though I have not been on any Senate committees, just joining, I'm from DC. I've been born and raised there my entire life, so I've been exposed to politics from a very young age. I've worked on political action committees and lobbied, and I continue to do that, as well as I've worked on political campaigns for a governor. So I have a lot of exposure with policy making and laws, and I feel like that gives me a experience and background in a slight knowledge of how legality and law works, and I feel as if I'd bring these experiences to this committee as an active member. Through these experiences, I feel like I've gained a strong talent of working with people and communicating, and I feel like joining this committee, I would bring as an active member my communicative skills and technicality.
What ideas do you have?
my idea is not only for this committee, but throughout the chamber, only being here a short amount of time, I feel like we need to draw the line between respect and healthy discourse, because I've seen where discourse isn't helpful, and I feel like through some sort of initiatives or workshops promoting civil discourse, we will get more things effectively done. And I feel like the respect needs to go for both sides of the chamber, because we are all senators and we all have a value, and our voice does matter equally for every single member, no matter role. So I feel like the line needs to be drawn down the middle between healthy discourse and unhealthy discourse. So my ideas are initiatives to promote that.
Now, under the technical questions, what are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Constitutionality, legality, implication, format, and clarity.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A bill mandates action while a resolution expresses a sentiment.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in Judiciary?
5 minutes of presentation, following 5 minutes of Q&A, following 5 minutes of debate, and 2 minutes of final privilege.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
Pass, fail, postpone, or table.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for us? Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for the time. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Who's the next person?
Are you ready? She can.
Are you ready? Did you call Abigail?
She emailed me telling me that originally I got an email about a phone interview, and then I got a follow-up email about a withdrawal of the application.
Okay. Sounds good.
I think there were car problems or something. I'm not quite sure.
Sorry.
Currently on the highway.
Actually, I saw someone on the highway here that was broken down. I hope it's not them.
Okay.
Thank you.
I guess I kind of, sorry, change. You only get one. Good luck. You get a share. My bad.
Here, you can.
Okay.
Here, we'll share.
Just a second to set up if you don't mind.
No worries.
Okay. I'm just going to use a timer so I can keep track.
It'll be the 4 minutes for the 3 questions, and then we just go into time.
4 minutes?
Yes. Just to try to speed it a little bit.
Okay. All right. Sure. All right. I'm ready.
All right. So, do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yeah, I'm Nathaniel Pelton, and I'm applying for a seat on the Judiciary Committee.
All right. What is your motivation for applying?
Yeah, so I've had the really unique opportunity of serving in the Senate for a little while now, and in my time, I've really been passionate about legislation. It's been number one for most things. I've had the really unique opportunity of passing so many great bills that have really uplifted the lives of so many of our students, namely the SOAR Act, which has granted the $170,000, kind of worked as like a fix for the spring semester, as well as the SMO Act, which has turned into something that has already exceeded my own expectations with the Women's Caucus, which was just held today, the Green Caucus, and so many other opportunities for students to get involved in the Senate, which is something we've never seen, and also bipartisanship, which is amazing.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, so I served as a class senator. I've served as a clerk on both budget and, on Judish and RNA before. I've also served as a Senate Sustainability Liaison. I served as the minority and majority party leader at various times, and I've also served as a member of this committee as well.
What are some ideas that you have?
Oh, actually, if I can go back to experience, sorry. I also have written I've submitted 86 bills to Judiciary. I have defended over 100 bills in Judiciary. I've sponsored over 150 bills in my time in the Senate. I have seen, I think, 5 Judiciary chairs-ish, I think, maybe some acting ones mixed in between through my time in the Senate. And so I have a lot of experience with bills, uniquely. I love bills. I love defending them. I love working on them. I love collaborating with them. So that's a lot of my experience. Okay, my apologies.
So what ideas do you have?
Yeah, I have quite a few. So number one, I want to expand this further. My apologies. So this is a AI-generated UFSG bill tracker. So what's unique about it is you actually can see the bills. You can see who authored them, who sponsored them. You can see the status of the bill. It's updated constantly because it goes based on the SG website. You can also get a summary of what the bill looks like, and you can tap this little button and you get a PDF of the bill. So I want to expand that. I want to make that public. I want to make sure that all senators have access to it. I also want to do a couple other things. I want to create subcommittees in the Judiciary Committee. I think the Judiciary Committee has been way overstacked with responsibility, and I think that's a problem. This last week, Judish met for 45 minutes and only got 2 bills through. And so I think if we can split things up by subcommittee, not only can we allow for our senators to have more access to sitting on committees, which is fantastic, because, I mean, look, you had 40-something senators apply this week. Not many of them are going to get seats. I think if we have subcommittees within the Judiciary Committee, we can focus on specific issues and make sure that everyone's bill is heard based on whatever value and theme it's on, as well as make sure more senators are involved in the process. One other thing I want to do is an issue that I've seen since I became a senator, and I am responsible for it as well, is we pass too many resolutions and not enough code revisions and bills that impact the Senate body. And so what I want to do is I want to create workshops to go into the Senate and advocate for code revisions, any other type of legislation aside from resolutions, because they don't do anything. They express sentiment, and for far too long I think we've all been sort of a part of this process that is not really benefiting students. And so I want to focus more on that, which is such a crucial aspect of what we do as a Senate. And finally, I want to integrate SMOs with Judish. I love SMOs. They have been amazing. Just today in Women's Caucus, we did some icebreakers. We all learned some things about each other that I'd never learned before. And of course, Isha, who's a member of that caucus, was probably the meanest person in the room to me. So that should go to show that the bipartisanship is strong. And I want to make sure that if we're focused on an initiative, thank you, and we're fighting for it, that SMOs, which have a little bit more access to the community more broadly, can get involved with the judicial process. Finally, I want to streamline the Judiciary Committee, if the subcommittees don't work, to make it more efficient. Again, I said before, 45 minutes and only 2 bills were heard. That is unacceptable. If you've ever sat in a Judiciary Committee in the past, we need to change that. And so I want to work with the chair to streamline that entire process. I understand that I'm not a fresh face, and I know that's a point that's going to be made up. I also understand my reputation precedes me, but give me a shot. I will do a great job on this committee.
And it's time. Now onto the technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Constitutionality, clarity, implication, format, and let's see, legality. Did I say legality? There we go.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
Of course, as I kind of harped on before, resolutions express sentiments, bills mandate action.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in Judiciary?
Yeah, so you got the 5552. You've got 5 minutes presentation, 5 minutes of Q&A, 5 minutes of debate, and then 2 minutes of final privilege.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
So, of course, some of my favorite ones in there. You can postpone, you can pass, that one's cool. You can also fail, not that cool, and you can table.
All right, do you have any questions for us?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
552 gonna be a thing now.
Listen, we can make it a thing. 5552. Listen, it's so easy to remember. No, what's crazy in my mind when I'm thinking about the 5 criteria, I'm like Cliff, CCLIF,
That is.
and then I'm like, what is the other one? It's Hoofed, PPFT.
Yeah,
It's so easy to remember when you do it that way.
I think of it as Flick with 2 C's.
Oh, Flick.
Yeah, I've interviewed Judish before, and that was
All right,
my
thank you.
Mind going and grabbing Marion?
Yep.
Nearly done. It's only 9 minutes back.
Not too shabby.
Was your residency large to uphill?
No. Sorry. I am going to law school, so that's the goal. I don't know about all that.
Maybe eventually.
Perfect. Welcome in.
Hi, thank you.
Alrighty. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yes, Marianne Enriquez, Judiciary Committee.
Alrighty. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you like to begin. What is your motivation for applying?
Okay, so what motivates me to apply is firstly my passion for student government. I think that passion is something that's really important, especially within SG, because if you're not happy in what you do, then that'll reflect the work that you do. And I have tremendous passion for the Judiciary Committee. It's something that I've always wanted to be a part of, and more recently I've been clerking for the Judiciary Committee as of a few weeks ago. And sorry, I'm blanking. I think that within SG itself, it's important that you find passion for the work that you do. And so within the committee itself, I think that that's something that is important. So yeah.
What experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So as far as experience, obviously I've been clerking for the committee the past few weeks, and that has just allowed me to learn so much about the committee as well as the procedure. Obviously I'm a senator, and then aside from that, as most of us, I want to be a lawyer. I know that's like very basic, but I love like fine print reading, like just reading in general, and I think that that's important within the committee itself. And my experience also working in 2 different law offices over the past few years, I've done like all the nitty-gritty work, you name it, I've done it in a law office, and just a lot of reading and stuff like that. So that I feel is very important within the committee itself. And I've also been reading the codes and trying to familiarize myself so that if given the opportunity, I am well knowledgeable about that sort of thing and able to really serve the committee. So that's just some of my experience.
Perfect. What ideas do you have?
So for ideas, I know that Senate itself does not have the obligation to collaborate with other organizations, but I think that to make people really aware of the committee itself and just like transparent, know what's going on, we could collaborate with organizations like the Florida Undergraduate like Law Review, I think would be a great opportunity. And then also as far as transparency, I think something that would be an idea of mine and also very important would be to just be more transparent generally. And I think aside from the general email blast of Judiciary Committee will be meeting at this time, I think we could reach out to the authors whose bills are going to be presented, because as I've clerked, I've seen it myself that sometimes authors are not able to debate on their bills or hear the question and answering period and stuff like that, or even have the final privilege. And I think that it's important that the authors are present and know exactly what is happening. So I think that just transparency in general within the committee would definitely be something very beneficial.
Now on to the technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
The 5 criteria are constitutionality, implication, legality, format, and clarity.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A resolution expresses a sentiment, whereas a bill mandates action.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in Judiciary?
5 minutes of presentation, 5 minutes of Q&A, 5 minutes of debate, and 2 minutes of final privilege.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
Pass, fail, table, and postpone.
Do you have any questions for us?
No.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You as well. You too. So our final 2 interviews are phone interviews.
All right.
Alright, so I will call Freddie now.
Anomika, is it going to be you in deliberations or Max?
He might talk for the first few people, considering he was like there for
Do we want to repeat the way that we're doing it?
How about we're going to recess after we finish interviews? Do we want to talk this out during/before the recess?
Sounds like
after we're done with all the interviews.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hello?
Try it again.
Yep, I'm going to try again. She did say that her service has been a bit touchy. So she asked if I could snap call her if the service isn't working in her email.
Hello?
Hello, Freddie?
Yeah, hi, sorry. Can you hear me? I'm traveling right now.
Yep, we can hear you. You're on speaker with the Replacement Agenda Committee.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Alrighty, perfect. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yes, my name is Freddie Rappaport, and I'm applying for the Judiciary seat.
Perfect. You'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. What motivated you to apply for this position?
Yeah, basically the role of the Judiciary Committee has always been the most interesting to me out of all the committees. I especially appreciate the principles behind it of maintaining the integrity of what we put out in Senate, and I feel like it matches my skill set particularly, and I would be extremely useful in it, in the committee and Senate as a whole. I'm pre-law, so it's interesting to me to read stuff, and I know how the verbiage is important and stuff like that, so it's something that I'm passionate about as well. And I've recently started to take a more active role in Senate. I've been writing more legislation, and I want to keep this momentum going and keep doing good things in Senate.
All right, what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
This semester in Senate, I authored 9 pieces of legislation. They varied in topics from the internal workings of Senate, and then I also wrote something about condemning forms of hate on campus, so I had experience with legislation. I have knowledge of the code revisions process, how the process of submitting legislation works, and I have a proficient understanding of the 5 failing criteria. As for outside of Senate, for the past 2 summers, I interned on the U.S. Energy and Natural Resources Committee, which basically mirrors what we do inside Senate. And this was obviously a fantastic learning experience. It taught me a lot of skills that I use every day. This committee was also inherently political, which was another real world experience that I can apply to this situation that I've gained real experience in.
All right, and what ideas do you have?
First, I want to improve the upcoming legislation workshop. I want to tailor it more and emphasize helping new senators so they feel more comfortable with it. I also want to add a feedback form for after the workshop, so next year we can know what we can improve on. Second, increased communication. As always, I think this is really important for what we do. I'd want to make a group chat with all the chairs of all the committees, just so there's easy access to ask questions and promote transparency and make sure everyone knows what page all the committees are on. And finally, this is just the way of the committee working. I want to make it more common for authors to be questioned about their legislation before the meeting where it's being heard is happening.
All right, now on to the technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
Implication, legality, format, clarity, and constitutionality.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A bill mandates an action. A resolution is expressing a sentiment or a statement.
Right, what is the procedure for reviewing legislation in the Judiciary Committee?
First, 5 minutes of presentation, then 5 minutes of question and answer, 5 minutes of debate, and then there's 2 minutes of final privilege at the end.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
It can postpone it, table it, or fail or pass it.
Alrighty. Do you have any questions for us?
Nope, all good.
All right. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye. Our final interview is Christian Gibran, which is also a phone interview.
Hello?
Hi, is this Christian?
Yes, hi.
Hey Christian, this is Blake with the Replacement Agenda Committee. You're on speaker. Are you ready for your interview?
Yep, I'm ready.
Alright, perfect. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yeah, so my name is Christian Gibran, and I'm applying for the Judiciary Committee seat.
Alrighty. So your first question is, what is your motivation for applying? And you'll have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin.
Yeah, so I would say that my motivation for applying for a committee seat, specifically Judiciary, is that committees really kind of emphasize the role and the order of Senate, and I feel like most of the action goes through these committees, and especially Judiciary. It helps kind of outline the effectiveness of Senate, and I feel like I'd be most useful and most effective during my time in the chamber, applying myself through this committee. And also I feel like having insight and input on the way that the bills are being passed and legislation is being approved is super important and would help Senate conduct an orderly business.
Alrighty. So what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, so my academic interest and background primarily because I'm pre-law and I've done a lot of academic coursework pertaining to law. I feel like would help me with this role, understanding how bills are written and what they mean and all that legal jargon, and then also my work within the LEAD lab, which is a research laboratory through class. I've dealt with a lot of statutes and bills relating to like wrongful convictions, and like that was like my research pertaining like in that lab. So I feel like that background coupled with like my academic interests and background and what I've learned throughout my time at UF would definitely help me within this role.
Right. What are some ideas that you have?
So through Judiciary, I would like to implement or like revitalize a Judiciary progress tracker, primarily focusing on accessibility to the entire Senate, maybe having it sent out in your or whoever the pro temp is at the time, their emails the Mondays before Senate, just so that people like have an idea of like what is the status of everything that's been submitted to Judiciary, and like what it was tabled for or what it was passed for, or just kind of having like that open and accessible access to the bills that are like, at hand. And then also I think like legislation like writing is a really big like curve to kind of like accomplish your like when you start in Senate. So if the Judiciary Committee had time to organize seminars aimed at educating senators on how to write effective legislation, like the proper verbiage, what it would really mean, like the different types of legislation that people can write, I think it'd be super useful and beneficial for the rest of Senate, and even opening it up to the public to see like what senators really do with their time on Tuesdays and throughout their committees. I think it'd be super beneficial, not only for just UFSG, but also just the general student body.
All right, so now on to the technical questions. What are the 5 criteria for reviewing all legislation?
That is going to be constitutionality, implication, legality, format, and clarity.
What is the difference between a bill and a resolution?
A resolution shows, like, expresses like a sentiment, but a bill mandates action.
What is the procedure for reviewing legislation in Judiciary?
It's going to start with 5 minutes of presentation, and then 5 minutes of Q&A, and then 5 minutes of debate, and then finally 2 minutes of final privilege.
What can the Judiciary Committee move to do to a bill besides amend it?
They can pass it, postpone it, table it, and fail it.
Alrighty, do you have any questions for us?
I don't, but thank you all for your time.
Alright, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
That concludes our interviews.
Very nice.
I will move us into a 15-minute recess, but first, do you guys want to finish talking about whatever you were talking about? About who will be participating in deliberations?
An applicant can sub in for when she was actually here to hear them, which would have been Antonia.
Perfect. We are planning on... Because we were planning on doing deliberations kind of like in more of a block fashion, where like...
We just agree on all of them.
Like 12 minutes for... like 12 minutes for the 4 open budget seats, and then 3 minutes per seat is the idea. So 12 minutes for the 4 open budget seats, and then 6 minutes for the 2 open judiciary seats. Just because I think, yeah. Well, I think we just probably do a block of 12 and then a block of 6 to make it easier. But that's how I was kind of thinking of doing deliberations, if that works for everybody.
So not 3 minutes per seat?
No, just because I think it would be kind of weird doing like 1 seat and then there's like a bunch of different candidates. I think it would just be easier to do it as kind of as a block. So we'll discuss the 4 budget seats in a 12-minute block, and then the 2 open judiciary seats in a 6-minute block, if that works with everyone.
Okay.
Just kind of in the interest of, yeah.
Do we want to go down the line then of candidates still within that time? Because how would we address that? Or we just say who we're thinking? Like,
I think that what I personally would
I like
do
your nails.
was say who I'm thinking for the purpose of time.
Yeah.
Because there's some people, like last semester, that we were just kind of like
That is,
around.
that's when the nicknamed super committee of all of the chair positions in RNA had to do and fill quorum in the fall. That was the procedure we used. Was everyone just kind of went down the line and was like, "This is who I like for the seat, and here's why." And we kind of just went down the line. So we could do something along those lines if you'd like.
I like that.
And if we do that, you could both kind of have you could both speak, and so like you could do it, and then it would then be his like you could do the first 3 minutes or whatever, and then you could say, "Okay, now I'm giving it Max." Like we can figure something out.
Budget 6, Judish 12.
Budget 12, Judish 6, because there's 4 budget seats.
no, 12. There's 4 Judish seats, I thought.
Yeah, so budget
Wait, there's
6,
4
Judish 12.
It's 4 Judish 2 budget.
Is it not?
Oh no! Wait, hold on.
I had down 4 Judish.
I'm just gonna look at it.
Oh, 3 budget?
There's 3 budget?
I was under the impression it was
We're in
different.
here,
Let me check.
But okay.
I could
okay,
be.
there's 3 budget.
For
I'm just
budget.
looking.
For budget.
I'm looking at standing committees on the website.
And 2 judiciary.
There are 4
Oh,
vacant
wait.
seats on budget.
There's 4 on budget?
And 2 vacant seats on
Okay, we
judiciary.
have them switched. No worries.
Yes, I knew it. All right. Just to kind of give everyone a few minutes to relax, look over your notes and everything. Are we thinking 10 or 15 minutes for a recess? 15? Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. I call us into a recess for 15 minutes. We will re-adjourn at 6:51 p.m.